So to begin with, in what way is technology both neutral and non-neutral? How have your views of technology changed as a result of this class? Um, so technology can be both neutral and non-neutral. I think the best way to involve that would be to, I guess, start off with my works cited. One of which, the first one was a Wikipedia article that we had involving technological determinism. That kind of had a lot to do with Marxism and stuff. And kind of some of the main facts that I took from it was there's three kind of viewpoints on it. There's hard determinism, which technology develops on its own and we are powerless to stop it. Soft determinism is we have a way to stop it. We're able to stop it, and we have a choice whether to use it for good or for evil. Neutral is just, or the third viewpoint is it just happens. We had It's neutral, it's created neutral, and for us, we choose whether or not we want to use it for good or bad. And best way to do it, I guess, a handy dandy iPhone right here. Uh, when it was created, when Steve Jobs invented this and created this, he did it for I'm sure he did it for the better good. That was kind of his idea behind it. He wanted to revolutionize the smartphone. I know we've already kind of gone into it how that's not the first smartphone, but it's the first kind of polished smartphone in which people actually began using it. A lot more people started using it. It became a lot more user friendly. It was the best. It was viewed as the best way when it was created. It was meant to both talk text and you're able to research. You're able to go online on the internet. You're able to answer these questions that you're looking to get. Uh, and that was kind of that was a good thing about it. That was what people were looking to they had good intentions. Now, when the phone came out, it was neutral, and it was just a way to talk text, use the internet, and then after that, all these social media companies began rising. Facebook had already kind of been around for a little bit until they began to make applications for it. Uh, Twitter applications on or apps on the smartphone itself. Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok, I think now. So those are kind of the good parts about it. And of course, there is that chaotic kind of evil. There's this iPhone is both neutral and non-neutral. Yes, you can do good with it. You can research. You can look up these questions that you're dying to answer or you're dying to find out. But it it can be used as a bad way too. Terrorist organizations are able to use it to keep in contact with each other. They're able to. It gives them access to use Facebook, to use Twitter specifically. Twitter, I know, has in the past had multiple issues regarding like with Islamic cells, sleeper not sleeper cells, but like Islamic sectors and stuff. They're able to kind of contact each other. They're able to talk in a sort of secrecy because there's so much going on Twitter that Twitter's not able to screen everything that comes out on the application itself, and therefore they're able to communicate. And that's I guess that can be viewed as a chaotic, as something non-neutral. Uh, in other ways, though, of saying whether or not technology is both neutral or non-neutral, shoot, look at the atomic bomb. When it was created, I mean, they've been working on the atomic bomb. If you like going into history, they were working on like an atomic like reactor and stuff. Something that was neutral, something that was not devised originally as a bomb. Both the Germans were doing it. The Americans kind of caught on a little bit later on, and so were the Soviets, in which they were trying to utilize this as a form of energy. And there, as we see now, the Americans, us, we were able to use it to defeat Japan by dropping the two atomic bombs, and that's when uh, atomic nuclear science and stuff became something that was non-neutral. It was something that was used as a weapon of war. That was an evil thing. Later on in the 50s and the 60s and 70s, we began having doing public nuclear reactors, something to, I guess, provide energy, and that was good. But when it was originally created, it was a neutral technology. It was made not for good or for evil. It was just for us to get by. It was just some. It was a new scientific discovery. I guess the same could be made for the phone, just because it was created for better contacting, better to contact with people. And after a while, I mean, we're at 2020. The iPhone came out in 2008. That's 12 years. Um, 12 years since its original conception, it's kind of manifested itself into something else. Um, you can kind of view this with her, with Theodore Twombly. Uh, at first, before they enacted these new OSs in which it would have Samantha, or voiced by Scarlett Johansson, they had these digital assistants in which they're able to kind of research things for you, pull up emails, I guess, kind of reminders, kind of like Siri now. But once Samantha kind of came into play, she became that technology became a non-neutral. It therefore became something that was what's the best way to say it? He fell in love with her. I mean, that's when it became both good and bad. He began kind of turning away from his actual in-person contacts, his in-person relationships. But I mean, it can be both good and bad. Shoot, Clive Thompson, reading War and Peace on my iPhone. iPhone again was derived originally as something that was meant for short-term reading. Wasn't really intended for you to do long-term due to the push notifications and other distracting things. But Clive Thompson kind of viewed it as a plus when he was reading War and Peace on my iPhone. How dense and how old and archaic that writing is, and all these battles. I believe this was written on the Russian side, but these battles in which like many of them skirmishes that never really ended up making it to the history books because they weren't nearly as important. But Clive Thompson was able to look that up, and he was able to kind of inform himself while reading the book, reading the document. Um, but anyways, and then how my views of technology changed as a result of this class, it's made me a lot more alert upon what's going on. How often am I using my phone? Am I living through it, or am I using it just to assist me? And that's kind of one of the things that's kind of woken me up or awakened me since taking this class, specifically with documenting our time. And when I first started doing it for the first couple weeks, at first I was like, oh, it's just just a fluke. You spent way too much time. And then the more and more I realized, I mean, on average, I'm about 4.5 hours, maybe 5 hours worth of spending my time on the internet on my phone. I mean, that's a lot of time. And over a week, over a year, I mean, that's a lot of hours that I spent staring at a small screen instead of what's around me. What am I doing to better myself outside of my phone, outside of technology that I currently have? Um, so my views of technology have kind of turned away. They've kind of gotten not. It hasn't worsened my views, but I became a lot more woken up to the idea of maybe social media isn't what it's all cracked up to be. Maybe it's something that these companies are just trying to make money on. Uh, and so my views are kind of against technology a little bit. I mean, with hunting and stuff, I almost never bring up my phone. Same as golf. Golf with technology, it's kind of almost ruined the game just because of how much people are getting on their phones. I mean, golf. I mean, as my dad was always described it, golf was a way for you to escape, for you to be like just to sneak away from things. And that was kind of the main reason with golf was you didn't have any responsibility during that time. And I guess the same could be said about I believe in was it chapter 7? I could be wrong on that. I apologize. But I remember you were going over your surfboard, how your surfboard, it kind of gave you like a little bit, it granted you some solace upon how you could think, you could gather your thoughts. And that kind of changed a little bit. I know when you were talking about the Samsung, I think it was a Samsung board or something like that, in which you could pretty much plug in your phone and put it into your surfboard itself. Already risky that I could already think of. I can only imagine saltwater doing a toll on that phone. But just how technology, they keep on just pushing it on you, and uh, not really having a relation with like what you're trying to do. And they're kind of going against the grain, kind of like you said with surfing and stuff. I mean, You're supposed to be in solace. You're supposed to be kind of one, not sure what the board, what the wave, but it's something. It's like you're almost your own form of meditation in which you can kind of escape your own responsibilities and reality, and just kind of live your own life. And with that board, shoot, that I'm sure that can take away from all that with it constantly telling you the time and how it's always giving you granting you push notifications and all that stuff. Just insane to me. But anyways, I know I went way over on my time, but thank you so much. I appreciate this semester, and it's been a real fun time. Anyways, thank you so much. Stay safe. Take care. Bye bye.